Titans didn't get it done again, but it was a wacky game and several things to explain, and we'll be happy to explain it with you on Fanboys Unleashed. And enjoy me on some sort of allergy medicine ride. Should be a good time. Good evening, everybody. This is your heavily inoculated host, Mr. First Down. With me, as always, is Bradley Mangold, the original Red Rifle. Bradley,
silly.
the Red Cannon. We got to give you some name. The Red Howitzer. You know, something along the Red Howitzer. I'm in.
The Red Howitzer.
Yeah, we are a couple of days away from the Vikings-Titans game where we went through the 5 stages of grief together through these two days. And it seemed like the more we got into this week, the more stuff came out about this game. And not all of it was bad, which was shocking. I mean, I'm not saying we're hooray. I'm so glad we lost again. But there were a lot of things going on this game. And I have made it a point, I think Bradley and I discussed this the very first show, we will never blame a game on officiating. We won't do it. However,
it's replacement refs.
You will, yes.
Packers Seahawks.
We will be talking about how a particular line judge threw flags that shouldn't have been called. About 7 of them, I think, is what Wes said. So or Easton Free said. You can't. It is not fair, and this score at 13-23 should have been more like 20-23. We probably still don't win it, no, but you definitely look a lot better than you did. So, anyway, Bradley Mangold, your thoughts on this Vikings and Titans game? I'm gonna try not to pass out.
Roller coaster of emotions, just weird game to watch. I mean. It was weird. I didn't like the play. I mean, I want to say not the play call. I didn't like. I get it. You know, we did try to run the ball. It wasn't happening. Vikings have a good run defense. Vikings, I think, during the game, I think they were ranked 22nd in the passing game, which is not good. They don't have a lot of great corners there in Minnesota. But Brian Flores does a good job with disguising his blitzes and does a good job. Getting to the quarterback. And I pointed out. I think I pointed out. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, get ready for that. There's going to be a lot of that.
I don't think I ever pointed out on the show. I think the last 2 weeks why Will Levis is taking a lot of sacks is because I don't think he wants to throw the ball and cause a turnover, which is better than not turning the ball over. It was just a weird game. Travis Brownlee once again played good. NWI, that 98-yard touchdown pass, that was crazy insane. Did not see that coming. And then, but it was just weird. It was just, I mean, the flags were just killing us. The right side of the line was killing us. Judges, refs were killing us. Shout out to JC Latham for, being the only guy to say, hey, I'm not going to leave. At least I'm not blaming the refs. We have to look at ourselves and say, hey, we have to do better. And that's coming from a rookie. I know Jeffrey Simmons, we're cursed. I'm like, no, we're not cursed. We're just the Titans. So, I mean.
Jeffrey is very emotional.
I agree. That's how I like JC Latham. He's showing that he can become a leader, saying, hey, I played at Alabama, man. I expect championships. When we're here, we got to play better. And he's not wrong. MPF has been, who was it last year? It was Dennis Daly. Year before that was the Philadelphia Eagles, Andre Dillard, and now it's MPF this year.
I am very shocked about how bad MPF is this year. When his first year he came in, he wasn't terrible, and it's just odd. Ever since the gambling on
Ohio State, especially from Ohio State. That very good at producing offensive linemen.
Right.
I mean, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think Watson's maybe giving up 1 sack in his starts, but it's the penalties that's been killing him mostly. MPF doesn't get a lot of penalties, but he gives up a lot of sacks, gives up a lot of pressures. And I mean, Isaiah Prince could be a potential, maybe, but
a Band-Aid till next year, something like that.
I mean, the good news is free agency is coming up, so we'll see what happens during free agency.
Tighten up, Scoob. Tighten up. Scoob and I represent the diehards up in the upper decks. So, yes, always good to see Scoob.
My buddy's fiance, and they were at the game, and she sent me a video. I'm like, rub it in.
That's not very nice. She's disowned now. She's done. Right? That's how that. My synopsis of the game is such: you looked better. You looked better as a team. You looked better on offense. Will Levis looked better. He looked confident. He looked like he was finally starting to grasp things. Don't get me wrong. There were a couple of missed tackles and whatnot. Whatever, Nate. Anyway, my brother-in-law, Nate, everybody. Great. Yeah. So, but there was improvement there. There were passes being made that he hasn't been able to make all year, but he's making them then. But this is my synopsis of this game. We have battled our way back to be exactly where we were at the end of last year.
Right.
With a quarterback and no O-line to protect him. That is what we've done. We have gotten right back. So it's year one.
That's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not pulling a coach on year one. I'm just not gonna do that. No. I think Nate's trying to enjoy our misery, but I don't think so. I'm not firing coach in year one. Just not how I operate. So the way my whole synopsis of the game is, yes, officiating was awful. 7 out of the 13 calls were bogus. I don't like the fact that Callahan and the ref get into it, and then the ref and Callahan get into it again, and Clete Blakeman has to break them up. Like this, it's just ridiculous. I don't think that should be allowed. I'm not saying like, oh, woe is me or whatever. I mean, Callahan knew what he was doing, right? He it was a bogus call. But you got to stick with it. You're on the precipice, it kind of feels like, to finally start doing some things. I'm not saying you're going to go in there and rock Houston, but you could definitely look better than you have. That opportunity is there. So with that, we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll go ahead and start here.
Say it.
The defensive line, how many times did we see that offensive line crumble and Sam Darnold run around like a chicken with his head cut off and throw a late pass that a wide receiver? That's the one thing about this Vikings offense, man. Sam Darnold is not great, but those wide receivers make him look like the golden goose. He would throw balls and guys would snag them. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. He was just throwing ducks, and they were like, oh, I like ducks, and they were catching. And it was just like one thing after the other. Anyway, so fighting in the comments. Great. Anyway, so the defensive line, you're getting pressure, but you're not sacking the guy. And there were times, and this goes to Sweat, Simmons, and everybody. You had that man so many times, and you didn't have the gall, guts, or whatever to put him down. And I really hope that this isn't more of this, well, if I sack him, am I going to get a penalty in the back of your head? You can't play that way. Anyway, that's my first negative. Go ahead, Bradley.
First. That's a good one. I like that. And I agreed Sam Darnold was dancing circles on us.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't want to say offensive line. I'm tired of sounding like a broken record with the offensive
right
line.
Side of it. We have to be right. The right side of the offensive line.
I'm going to say running backs this time. Shout out to the Vikings having the second best run defense. They don't have the greatest defensive line, especially losing Dale Hunter. He's no longer there. But Spears got injured again, concussion this time, so he's going to miss at least 3 weeks. I mean,
he runs so hard. Yeah,
absolutely. And then Pollard, I think that's probably his worst game of the season.
Well, let's be honest. The Vikings decided that the Titans were not going to run the ball. That was their what they were going to do.
So I'm gonna say running backs. I got my second negative because I pretty sure I don't know what's going on there. I'll wait till my second, but I'll start with the first negative. I'm just gonna say running backs. Just Will Levis can't be our leading rusher. That just can't happen.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't want him to get injured again. He's already been injured twice in 2 seasons, so I feel like
the experiment must continue as we've talked about.
So I'll put running backs as my first negative.
Okay. Number 2, the fact that NWI caught a big touchdown pass. No, I'm joking. He is my worst nemesis, but that's okay.
Mason Kinsley.
Mason Kinsley. I'll do it for you. Don't worry, Brad. I'll do it for you. The right tackle position and the right guard position, and sometimes center, but I really feel bad for picking on a backup center. He's doing the best he can with what he's got. And but they I mean, gee whiz, especially right tackle. It's just awful. They can't do anything. I've never seen, and this is the biggest worry for me. I'd rather see Levis pretty much suck all year, and then I can have the decision made on him a lot sooner. Now he's going to get destroyed every single time he's back there, and we're right back where we were, and it's just mind-boggling to me. I'm dumbfounded about the right side of the O-line. However, you did fix the left side, so that's all there is to it. These guys are so bad that one of the best offensive line coaches in the league can't fix them. That should tell you everything you need to know. And people are like, well, why hasn't he fixed them or whatnot? Because they're not good enough. They're just not good enough.
They don't have it.
And you can't go out.
You got to have it. Then NPF doesn't have it.
There is no high caliber right tackle out there that's going to save you. So you got to pull yourself by your boots and find it. Maybe they just keep rotating because we know how great that's going to be. But right side of the O-line, I think the right side of the O-line has been on our negatives for almost every single game.
Every week.
About it. Yeah, it's horrible out there. You fixed the left side. Now you got to fix the right side. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the tight ends. Here's why. They even helped NPF, and they still gave up sacks.
Oh, the chipping? I know what you're talking about.
They chipped, and they still gave up sacks. And another reason is, where are they in this passing game? Like, it feels like it's only Ridley and NWI that makes plays.
Shout out to Oliver. Oliver caught 3 or 4.
Yeah, I saw that sad. I saw the very sad comeback post about Oliver and Traylon Burks.
I 100% agree with you, Scoob. The only reason we'll get to that draft talk. That's later. Hang with the Scoob. We'll get to that.
But I'm not liking our tight ends. I'm not saying Josh Riley or Chig are not good. I'm just not seeing it from them. Or maybe we're not utilizing them like the way we should. But
I mean your beef is legit. I don't think they're being coached to just like a chip is like a chip. Like you're supposed to run into them and get out, and you just whiff on them from time to time. Who was the was it Chestnut who made that awesome block for Levis during the game?
Ah, boy.
He boosted right by the right guard, and Chestnut stopped it amazingly. It was crazy. But yeah, no, it's legit. It's legit. I think the tight ends have been poor, at least this game, at getting their blocks. We are Phoenix Rising from it. Boy, I hope so, Scoop.
It's been a long time. If that's the case. Yeah. But yeah, I just going back through going on watching on TikTok, they go like, this is like when George Kittle was drafted.
I agree, Nate, and it's really a bummer because I thought Chig was going to be that guy. Yeah. I really did.
Because it's really sad, and this is how crazy it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was 8 or 7 tight ends drafted before George Kittle. You know who one of them was? Jonnu Smith.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So we could have had George Kittle from the tight end University, Iowa.
I love Chig too, Nate. I don't know what happened to him. He showed up the first 2 games and then he has disappeared. I don't know what the deal is with that. But even the basic stuff like staying in the block, like Brad's talking about, they're like, "Oops, I missed. Whoopsie."
And Jonnu Smith was good for us. I missed Jonnu Smith. I missed Delaney Walker, and I think Josh Riley's 6'7", and I don't even. I don't know.
It should be known though. Like Jonnu's been on a different team ever since he left. Like he's not what you would call, I guess, a dynamic enough player to stick with one team because he keeps getting bounced around. I'm out on Chig. Yeah, I know. Me too. Well, I think he's gone after this year anyway. So, you drafted Wiley, and Wiley's playing better than he is, which is shocking, to say the least. But I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he goes to a different system, and he's better. But it's just not working. It's just not working.
Chig has 23 catches for only 192 yards, 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Riley has 15 catches for 148 yards and 0 touchdowns. Wow.
Well, remember, the only touchdown for Chig.
And Nick Barnett has 2 touchdowns, but only for 84 yards receiving. So
that's because Barnett plays that goal line. I'm gonna stay in and block.
3 tight ends set.
Yeah. That he's the guy that runs out. That's why Barnett. You don't see him you never see Barnett out there until they're in the 20. Like when they're inside the 20, I'm like, oh, here he comes. It's true. Other than that, though, that's a pretty light list this year as far as negatives go about my complaints because we have the other thing to talk about. So I'll go ahead and start this out. Will Levis, that's 2 weeks in a row of 2 solid plays. Oh, yeah, he is a red zone tight end. As soon as they enter the 20, you can watch him run out there. Him and Wiley run out there at the same time. It's 100% true. So, Will Levis, he's solid. I'm disappointed that we're right back where we were at the end of last year. Yeah. So I would like to see more steps taken. But hey, I love the deep ball. I loved the accuracy. That pass on the sideline to Nick Westbrook-Akine, that was not an easy pass to make. He had to throw it over the defender and put it right where it needed to go, and he hit him in the end zone, one pressure in his face, because I thought for sure we were about to see the ref's hands do this. I really did. So he got it out there. I'm more shocked than anybody, but so my positive is Will Levis. Here we are. Shocking.
I'll go with Jarvis Brownlee again. For playing good.
He shall stay on the positive list.
NWI for being only the second receiver to have 100 yards in a game this year. So that's that's well needed. And I'm gonna say number 3. The shocking one was the second. We actually played a better second half than the first half. This game, 3 points in the first half, 10 in the second. Would have been more better if things would have worked out in our favor. But I think that's the first time since I think the Dolphins game or maybe the Patriots game we actually had a better second half than the first half. But Titans need to become a better 4-quarter team and not a half team.
Yeah, I mean, but look around the league though. The Texans aren't scoring in the second half unless it's on a bad fumble from the Cowboys. There's a lot of weird things going on in the league right now.
It has been a very weird season. Cowboys are having a bad season. 49ers are not being that
kickers.
Good.
Kickers are missing all over the place. What is going on?
You got Saquon Barkley doing 180 backward hurdles. Joe Burrow playing MVP, and the Bengals can't win a game.
Dude, he's throwing like 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he can't win the game. What is going on? It's a very strange year. But I mean, I digress. It's a very strange year. There's a lot of things going on. Justin Tucker is a very inaccurate kicker at this point. It's just odd. It's really weird. There's got to be a lot. My guess would be like less training camp time is probably something to do with it, along with other things. That's a whole other.
So I'm going to say this. Sorry, Titans fans, don't want to hear this. I'm going to cover your ears. It's going to bleed. We don't have the number 1 defense. The Steelers do, because that's crazy that they beat the Ravens without scoring a touchdown. That's insane. TJ Watt smacking Derrick Henry in the backfield, which we don't really see that much of. But
only running 13 times. The guy made his bread and butter being run 20 plus times.
Yeah.
When you run him hard in the third quarter, and then by the fourth quarter, they're done chasing him around. Rich Eisen called him the diminisher, and I thought that the Baltimore Ravens understood that, but then they go against their biggest rival, and they just blanch.
Steelers, they got a great defense. TJ Watt, Patrick Queen was a huge.
But you can't run Derrick Henry 13 times. You can't.
Oh, no. You definitely got to rush him more than that, especially with the Ravens receiving core. They don't have, outside Zay Flowers, there's no one else there.
Right. It's not like the Steelers
Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely, by the way. I like that guy.
I like Likely, but he has a lot of drop passes under his belt at the moment. It's really weird. It's an odd thing. Passing game has not been Lamar Jackson's strong suit, but you've got to – 13 times for Derrick Henry is not enough. It's not enough at all. So that kind of tells me you don't trust your O-line or something. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. All right. What do you need to see from Will Levis for him to be the guy? We have how many games we got left?
7. Yeah, we played 10 games already, so 7.
Yeah, 7 games. What do you need to see, Brad?
There's 2 things I gotta see from Will Levis. He needs to just keep playing good. Keep doing what he's doing. He's on a good trajectory right now. And number 2 is he needs to start winning some. He needs to get a win underneath his belt. He's still winless on the year. It's not his fault. Titans Nation, calm down. I'm not blaming him. It's not his fault, but we gotta get this guy a win. We have. I believe. Yeah, if you look at our schedule, this is crazy. The only time we scored above 20 points was the Dolphins game. That's the only game we have scored above 20 points. That is insane.
And that's the curse of Ryan Tannehill. Yeah.
So, and 13 points, that was probably my last negative, 13 points, but that could have, like I said, things just didn't go our way. So, like I said, last 2 games has been good. Unfortunately, it's we all know what happened beginning of the season. So that's still, it's in the draft. It's going to be complicated because Jaguars are they're a half game behind us for the first overall pick. They're 2-9, and they're going to keep Trevor Lawrence, obviously. So, and we still play them twice. So if we beat them twice, then that just because I already know this. Jaguars get a first round pick. They're going to get Travis Hunter. They're not getting a quarterback because
you don't think so?
No, they just gave Trevor Lawrence a huge contract.
But I mean,
and his stats are not bad. He's just, I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. has been.
Denver is paying $85 million to a quarterback to wear a Steelers jersey. You know, it's very strange.
Doug Peterson will probably be fired.
Oh, he'll be fired.
Season.
Yeah. See, that's what makes
Trevor Lawrence.
That's what gives me pause, though. A new coach is going to want his guy. You know, when the Jags owner came out and said this is the most talented team they've ever had, then changes are going to have to be made. I mean, I
think that's a lie. Their best receivers are rookie.
Yeah,
Christian Kirk's not a first string receiver in today's NFL.
No. I will argue until the day I die. They overpaid him to make us give up AJ Brown. I 100% believe that. So wins, whatever. I just need good, steady play. I just need good, steady play from Will Levis. That's all I need. I need him to start throwing to these wide receivers I see open. I need him to read a play, to make the moves, and get on with it. That's what I need. I'm not really concerning myself with wins or whatever at this moment. As for draft, it's not a good tackle draft. It's not a good tackle draft. You can spend one on a right tackle, and maybe he works out. I'm not a scout. I couldn't tell you.
Jack Conklin, come back.
If somehow Travis Hunter is there, though, I think you have no choice but to take him. You have no choice. Because I think he is just that good. I say that, and he'll plummet and get DUIs and all kinds of horrible, horrible things. But I hope not.
First-round receivers haven't worked out for us either. So
no, but
Corey Davis. I'm not mentioning the other guy. I'm not saying. I'm not. We all know who we're thinking of. I'm not saying his name again. I'm tired of talking about that.
After Wes sent out the list of right tackles, he's right. There's not a lot there. So
I would trade.
Listen, I think that was trade back, stock the team up, build the team up, trade back, build the team up. I have no problems with that whatsoever. And then you could draft a right guard in the first round. If you do, though, everybody's going to be pissed. Everyone's going to be pissed. People don't like it when you spend 3 first-round draft picks on an offensive line, even though a lot of good offensive line have used multiple first-round draft picks. People don't like to hear that. They want that sexy pick. They want the quarterback. They want the wide receiver. They want the all-star tight end. They want the heavy linebacker. It's a silly way to think.
Travis, there's only 2 people I see going number 1 overall. It's going to be between Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not sold on Shadur Sanders. I'm not sold on
any of these quarterbacks.
No. Here's the reason why I'm not sold on them is because I evaluate the quarterback, any position coming out, except offensive line and defensive line. But if you can't take over a college football game in consecutive games, and if you have a bad one, that's okay. You don't have to be perfect every game, but kind of like a college basketball player, you have to show you can take a game over and denominate and win and win and win and get good stats. Shadur, I think he's a little bit immature after games. He's always getting it to some other player's face from the opposing team, running his mouth. He gets that from his dad. We all know who Deion Sanders is.
I don't want it. I don't want the circus here. I just don't. It makes me tired.
And that's the comp. I mean, this is so tough. It's so tough to break down and see, like, because what hurt Will Levis was he fell out of the first round and went into the second round. We trade up for him. If we didn't trade up and get him, God knows who or when he got taken. Because obviously the Kentucky, we all saw the turnover issues, and he's doing good. Like I said, if I had to grade him so far this season overall, I'll give him a C plus because it's not too bad. This is not good when do not bark when you got a rebuilding team, rookie head coach, rookie GM. You know,
yeah,
there's a lot of. Sorry, guys. Wife's home
You're
from
okay.
church, and the dog's gonna bark. So I don't want to draft the quarterback from this year's draft. Shut up, please. I'd rather draft whoever's best available. That's the correct decision. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know. Cleveland's going to be getting a new quarterback. Raiders need a new quarterback. We'll see what happens with the Jaguars.
We'll see where Cam's probably the best quarterback right now. Boy, he feels like a giant. He feels like a giant to me. Giants.
It's so tough to. It's just. It's very tough because I CJ Stroud was the probably. I mean, I didn't see him being that good because Ohio State quarterbacks I've never played out in the NFL. Yeah, CJ Stroud comes in great, so that was surprising to see. And Anthony Richardson, I mean, he's another young quarterback, big arm, athletic, but he's not accurate. The whole tire thing, I don't know what that was about. That's just weird. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not a Colt insider. So, I mean, I know I've talked to some other Titans fans. They mentioned free agency, like Justin Fields. I'm like, yeah, but I don't see the Steelers letting him go because Russell Wilson's not getting any younger. So they're going to need to keep him for when Russell Wilson walks away or retires. So, I mean, we just need Will Levis to keep doing what he's doing. He needs to end the season very strong. Well, not very strong, just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Because the last conversation we see or hear about is, Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon are talking about a possibility of drafting a quarterback. Because then that will be. Because if we draft, because here's the sad part: if we draft the quarterback this year, he's got to be the starter right away because he'll be a first-round pick compared to a second-round quarterback. So that's the sad part. He'll be right away with the money and thrown right back out there, and we'll have to hit the reset button again.
I don't want to do it.
I know. So that's why we kind of need. I mean, I like I said, the last two games, Will has shown a lot more growth. He ain't doing no more stupid touchdown celebrations with the whole Spider-Man thing. I still don't know what the hell that was about. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing, because the sad part, like I said, he's 25 years old. He's not your standard young quarterback. He's already kind of like in that 25-year-old range. So we need him to keep doing it. Hopefully he can, and then get a receiver, get a right tackle, and let's get a tight end. I'm not.
Hey, after tight end the first round, I'll be happy. I'm like,
well, I mean, I know. I think Michigan has a good tight end. Of course, if you're looking for tight end, I look at the Big Ten. They always have good tight ends. Either Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, tight end university. Or free agency, So I mean, like I said, we're still in that phase of just rebuilding again, and it's gonna take some time. Get ready for Houston next week. Should be a great game.
I think it's more of what you can teach them and fundamental wise. But anyway, we are past the 30-minute mark. And I'm going to pass out in a Benadryl-induced coma. So that sounds fun. We will be back Sunday night, barring my child not having a fit. I saw her in the background. Right. I saw her. She does exist. It's not some woman you hire to take pictures with on Facebook. I knew it. Anyway,
you never know.
Thank you all for joining. I will be on tomorrow night, good Lord willing, if I'm not in another coma. for the Week 12 pick'ems for the Let's Talk Sports show. Friday, I've got 9:15 Central recap of SmackDown. And, of course, Sunday is game day in Week 12 in the NFL, to which we will be watching.
Fast already, Week 12. Man.
I know. Boy, it comes on. It just shows up.
Too fast.
Yeah, it always is. Anyway, we hope you have a good time. We'd love to see you, more in chat. Thank you all for contributed. We will see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Central for Fanboys Unleashed. Have a terrific evening. We will see you later.